Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Boxing Shop live Monday night. You know where to find us. This is either this is going to be the season finale or next week will be the season finale. But one of the either it's the last episode of the second to the last episode of the season of the Boxing Shop, and we'll have a new look and new vibe and everything next week or whenever we start it. But fellas, how you doing tonight?
We here, man.
I'm doing great, brother. How about yourself?
Oh, you already know, man. Jesus M, shout out. I was in the comment. Appreciate you showing love as always. Slow weekend behind us and a very slow weekend ahead of us. But we have a guest coming in a few minutes. But I think tonight's going to be a fun night. I think we're going to go down. I was just telling Nibs right now, Ray, we're going to go down memory lane and just talk boxing today. It's just going to be a chill vibe tonight after we chop it up with Trevor. Or you guys can, where's the enthusiasm tonight, fellas?
Bro, I thought your intro was heading somewhere. I
was waiting for you. I was waiting for one of you guys to get in.
Yeah, no, man. It was a slow weekend. I like the fights on Friday, but I forget about the fights on Friday.
Yeah.
So the card was on and someone was hitting me up talking about Xander and how good Xander was looking. I was like, man, I completely forgot he was fighting. I guess that was the big takeaway, I think, that maybe affected boxing the most was Mayer's a world champion again, huh? See Jesus saying it.
Yeah.
For the women's sports, I feel like she is a recognizable name, so I think it is good that she keeps that standing, has a belt, and we'll see her again. What y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, she's a big name, so to keep relevance and to keep the dollars flowing, it's better for the women's boxing. If she's got a strap, you know what I mean, so she can bring all the eyes, more eyes to the sport. But I was underwhelmed with her performance. You know what I mean? Both the girls, like it wasn't like either one of them really stood out to me. So the same kind of sentiment, bro. Like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, yeah, there were fights this weekend, but I kind of almost forgot who was fighting.
And what about Xander? Y'all see him or what? Because I feel like Xander, maybe they're positioning him as, we always said, that next Puerto Rican guy who, from Berlanga, just by being an undefeated Puerto Rican guy, you can find yourself in a big fight. Does he make it there? Does he get there? What do y'all think?
I don't know about Xander. I feel like he progresses, but he also stays in the same place at the same time. I want to see him step up against a name now. I think that's really he's kind of he's at that next level now where he needs to take a big chance, and I think he's got enough skills and everything. I just want to see it tested against somebody at that level. You know what I mean?
And what level are we talking about? Like
top 10 dudes, man. He needs a name. I want to see him in there with one of those guys. And there's a lot of names there, but there's a lot of guys I think he's not ready for. Jesus Ramos, Virgil, Tim. There's a lot of dudes that he's definitely not ready to be in the mix with. But there's still a lot of guys coming up. I'm sure there's going to be somebody. If I sat down and think about it, which I will before the end of this show, I'm gonna come up with like 3 guys I want to see Xander fight. That's gonna be our theme tonight, and we're not gonna talk about Richard Torres at all.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
It's only a top 15 heavyweight. We don't need to talk about him right now.
I'm pretty sure that if there's a narrator narrating the show, he would probably be saying that. Yes, at some point we'll probably end up talking about Richard Torres on this program tonight.
I don't know who you're talking about. I would say this. I don't think that Xander is ready yet, bro. Not ready for a step up in competition. I agree with Felix that he should step up in competition now. You know what I mean? But if you were asking me right now today, is he ready to take over the mantle as the next big Puerto Rican star? Not from what I've seen. Maybe just off name recognition. Maybe they're pushing it to be that way. But from what I've seen,
I like that fight right there. The one you highlighted, I think.
Yeah,
Brian Mendoza. as kind of gatekeeper. Really good, right? I mean, yeah, but kind of. We I guess we'd call a gatekeeper for those top guys. I think we'd agree on that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that's a tough guy because Brian still has a lot left in this gas tank too to offer Xander. So it's not like it's you know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of feel like with Top Rank, I'm gonna go back to Berlanga. He kind of got to a point where it was kind of risky to put him in there with anybody. I don't think Xander is at that level because I do think he's more skilled. But also, Berlanga, I don't think anybody picked him to beat Canelo. But at the same time, if possible, he looked good while losing 12 out of 12 rounds. I feel like that's the best Berlanga we'd seen. He lost 12 out of 12 rounds, but he kind of stepped it up.
Yeah.
So, maybe Xander needs to be thrown, to the big dog, to a Virgil Ortiz or something, and maybe we see the best of him. I don't know. It'll be interesting, man. That's obviously one of the guys that you just know we're going to see again until they cash him out, I guess. Or he really takes that next step.
We talk about it all the time, how, the losses, they shouldn't really shape a fighter or they shouldn't mean that much. You know what I mean? A young fighter like Xander, if we throw him in the deep end and he takes a loss, he's going to learn a lot from that, much like Berlanga did against Canelo. But do you think that's like fair to kind of put him in there somebody that you think is going to be overmatched for him and give him a loss, or should it still be a winning situation? I think that's where the problem lies with him.
I guess I would be like, that's where we don't know what they think of Xander yet.
Yeah.
Right. Like when he starts fighting guys that are like, when the competition level starts going down on his end, then I think that'll tell us. Or does he continue to fight better guys? I think it's still early. But I mean, I guess he wasn't too impressive where we're like, oh, we need to see him again,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you.
I think a fight against Mendoza, though, would make an exciting fight because Mendoza isn't just going to let him, pick him apart. Like, Mendoza's going to bring a fight to him. Like, he's going to have to actually fight. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get it in Mendoza. He's not getting a guy who's just going to come in and follow the script, get his paycheck and go home. You know what I mean? Like, this dude, because Mendoza will be looking at it the same way, somebody who's getting a title fight will look at it. They'll be like, hey, I beat this kid. He's got a big name. He's got the big promotion behind him. This puts me right back in the mix.
I mean, and that's honestly been Mendoza's. That's how Mendoza came to be what we know of Mendoza, right? Underdog win. Like, shoot, Mendoza is probably like, yo, give me that shot again.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Jesus made a really good fight right there. Hopefully somebody's listening or somebody's got the same thoughts.
The only problem with that is that I believe Brian Mendoza is PBC, which would make that one a difficult one to make.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the barriers.
Yeah, but as we've seen lately, dollars make a lot of fights, bro.
Yeah.
So if the money right,
Yeah, true. I'm curious to see, how Xander's future shapes up. It just seems like he's been kind of at the same level, progressing skill-wise, but you're only going to be able to progress so much against guys that you're able to do whatever you want with.
Pause.
No diddy.
Did anybody else watch the Alicia Baumgartner fight over the weekend?
I saw a highlight, man. I saw a highlight. She looked strong from what I've seen. I think that's kind of what's missing in the girl and women's boxing, the actual power, go out and really hurt someone. So, from what I've seen, like, all right, that's what you want to see. I'm just, most impressive thing about Baumgartner to me is, she's the only fighter that I could ever recall clearing herself with paperwork of a drug test. So.
That's never gonna get old.
Ryan Garcia should get her on the phone ASAP, bro.
Like, that's so crazy to me. Like, look, there's paperwork, and it's like written by her. There was no drugs taken. Oh, okay, yeah.
with her own. Didn't she put her own stamp on it, like letterhead?
Yeah, that was crazy to me. But I mean, again, for the women's game, you need names, man. And I mean, her and Mikayla fighting on the same schedule. Obviously, now that's a big fight, right? That'll be co-main or probably a pay-per-view card or something, or a main event on an ESPN or something. So
yeah,
I mean, let's be realistic. In women's boxing, there's like maybe 5, maybe 6 names total that get people into the box office. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really hard to sell a women's fight as a main event unless you're one of those 6 names, right?
Yeah.
So having them both on the same weekend, and we're already talking about we forgot about watching it. You know what I mean? Tells you everything you need to know. It's like, and these were the bigger names, AB, and you got or Alicia Baumgartner for those that don't know the ABs. There's a couple different ones, and then you got Mikayla Mayer, and it's like, okay, yeah, but it wasn't that interesting. You know what I mean? There's still another level that they need another name on the card.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, Nibs. Like, I mean, I'm with you 100%. But like, let's be real. If Turkey Al-Sheikh throws that on one of those stacked 5 pay-per-view cards, like, we're not gonna be mad at that matchup if it's like the first or second fight,
No,
So
not at all.
I think they both did their thing. They got wins. Really, that's all that matters. You got that W because you have that history, you got that bad blood, you could run that back, and that makes for an exciting fight. Like, I'm definitely not mad at it if it's the second fight of a card.
That's what I'm saying, though. If they were fighting each other, that would have been a much more memorable thing for me to tune into, right? Them fighting someone else who's not quite on their level as far as stardom is concerned, it's kind of like, oh, okay, cool, you're fighting, but who's the opponent? You know what I mean? Like, who are you?
But she picked up a world title from it, so like.
Well, hold on. We'll get back to them in a minute. We're gonna get to our guest real quick because limited time. You know what I mean? We don't want to take up too much of his time, Mr. Tenacious Trev McCumby. How's it going, bro?
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
You already know, man. Good over here. It's good to see you again, and definitely excited and happy to have you back on the shop again tonight.
Man, I'm really happy to be here. How you guys doing?
Same old, man. Same old. I see you've been really you've kicked up the social media a whole lot more since the fight, man. What's caused all that? It's been entertaining too.
Man, I've just been having a lot of fun. It's just good to be on the the big card, and I'm happy to talk to a lot of the fans.
Do you feel like you could be maybe yourself more now? Like, now you're kind of like an established, top fighter. We saw you on a Canelo card. Is there some freedom in like, hey, I could be who I am now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've always been that way, but yeah, it feels good to finally be well known and get the recognition I deserve. Yeah.
Hey, can you speak to that? Like, the difference between, the cards you've been on up till this point and then, being on a card, with Canelo as the headliner, what the difference is like?
I've been on big cards before. I was on back in the day with Bradley Marquez, big venues, stuff like that. But actually being a little bit higher up, close to the co-main event, especially on a card like Canelo was amazing. A lot more exposure, and I can't really say it's a lot different boxing wise. Like, once you get in the ring, it's just you throw those blinders on, and it's kind of like any other sparring session. But at the end of the day, like, when it came to media and stuff, I would say that was totally different. Like, a whole week long of media and stuff. That was pretty wild.
Hey, Trevor. So the fight happens, the result happens. Where are you at right now? Is there anger? Is there like, man, I need to do that again? or like I'm good? Like, where are you at right now after everything that's taken place?
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. You know, I've talked to a lot of family, friends, stuff like that. But when it comes down to the result, I mean, we can't change anything. And you know, that was really hard. That was really hard to tell my son. You know, my son sent me a video and said, "I'm sorry you lost, Daddy." And I said, "Hey, buddy, what do we do when we get knocked down? We get back up."
Yeah.
And that's what we do. You know, that's a great lesson to tell a lot of the kids, just people in general, man. Like, you know, I, I've like I was telling my old mentor, like I've taken a lot of losses in life, but I had never taken a loss in my professional career. So, um, what do? We get back up, we keep rolling.
Yeah, no doubt. How do you feel? Because I've seen Caleb kind of go on, maybe almost a like post-fight tour, and he keeps on getting credit for the adjustment he made, right? When he started going in, and they're like, "Oh, you adjusted." Do you give credit for that adjustment he made, or do you think it's something that maybe you could have done? Because I feel like when they keep saying, "Oh, he made that adjustment," it kind of takes away from what you were doing and able to do,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna discredit Caleb. Caleb's a great fighter, and I'll give him that. He made a good adjustment, but you know, there was a few things in camp that happened to me that I'm not really gonna disclose. But yeah, it was just and I'm not making excuses either. Like he had a great fight. All I'm gonna say is like I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna change up a few things that I felt personally that I didn't do right, like 2 weeks out, and I had some other stuff going on, but it is what it is. You know, I give him total congratulations. You know, Caleb. Hopefully someday we can run it back. But at the end of the day, I'm ready to be back in the ring and fight anybody in the top 10.
And you had him down, man. That you had him, yeah, twice. And I was jumping for joy, Trev. Like I was so excited when that was happening, because he was hurt. Did you have like a sense of like it's over? I got this at that moment.
Man, everybody did, bro. I had everybody like hopping out their seats. But yeah, it's yeah, I felt that for sure. You know, like I told a lot of guys, like in sparring, I was dropping all my sparring partners. I was getting the best of them, so I knew, and like nothing against my guys. They're great guys. They're gonna. I think a lot of the guys I was sparring with, they're gonna be world champions. But it's it's a it's a hard thing to say. I mean, but I knew when I hit him, I knew that he was going to feel it. He was going to get hurt. I just knew that. The way the camp that I had and everything, I knew that if I touched him, his chin, he was going to go on queer streak. So, it's just kind of is what it is. But
which is a crazy statement because of who he's been in the ring with, and I don't think anybody, even though he was stopped by Canelo, I don't think I'd ever seen Caleb, like his legs did not look like they were there. And like full disclosure, I had a bet with Felix. I'm a fan of yours. I'm a big fan of Caleb's, and Felix, he's your guy. And he said, "Yo, he's gonna hurt Caleb." And I said, "Man, like I've watched a lot of your fights, but I was like, man, Caleb's been in there big." And like, to your credit, man, and to Felix, you did exactly what Felix told me you were gonna do. I thought it was over, man. But yeah.
Hey, thank you guys. I mean, bro, at the end of the day, like that's what I want. I want guys to be excited and people to enjoy the fights. Like that's what we're fighting for. Like we don't want these lame fights that we've been seeing. So I'm happy that you were surprised. I'm happy that Felix knew what he was talking about.
Felix
And
I remember that. that conversation we had at the last session at the gym, when you were talking about Plant, bro, I could feel it. I knew you were ready. Like conversation we had, I knew, and that I just knew that determination. Like, bro, even if you had power like Paulie Malignaggi, I knew in that night nothing was going to stop you, and you were going to hurt him no matter what. Like, I just knew that focus was there. So I was telling Ray, man, and it happened.
It happened. So, post fight, how has the reception been? Have the offers been coming in? Because, I mean, I think that was the fight of the night. I don't think anybody would even argue that. And honestly, man, I think you might have been the performance of the night, even in a loss, because of what you did those first 6 rounds, 4 rounds, whatever it was.
No, yeah, man, it's been great. Obviously I was really bummed out after. I think any real fighter would be, because that's what I am. I'm a real professional, and I take it that way. So, yeah, I was really bummed out, but few hours after the fight, I mean, even right after, bro, like, when I got back to the MGM, I was flooded by fans, and I was honestly just really, really happy to have that recognition, and have the respect that I felt like I deserved. And yeah, it's been great. We've had a lot of offers, and we're going to hear about hopefully some more. But yeah, anybody in the top 10, I know they're all calling, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think you gave us the biggest oh shit moment, the fight when you knocked him down that first time. They didn't count it, but we all saw it. He was hurt pretty bad, and then with the knockdown, it was crazy because you hit him with so much power in his shoulder that he went down. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that before. You know what I mean? So just because of your style and how much power you have, I got to assume there's going to be plenty of fights for you. Usually, you see a guy who gets to a show like Canelo's, takes an L, and they go away, right? I see the complete opposite for you. I think that the sky is going to be the limit. You can pretty much call out whoever you want at this point. Is there anybody in particular, or are you, like you said, just anybody in the top 15?
Yeah, I'd say anybody in the top 10. I mean, a lot of people consider Caleb, the top 10 pound for pound. I know a lot of people do. So I think the results and my performance kind of speaks for itself. And at the end of the day, I think I'll really, really pose a problem for anybody in the top 10 at 168. And my power is there, and you all saw my boxing skills as well. So we're gonna make a few adjustments and come back a lot stronger. Yeah, I appreciate the love though, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, man. And like I said, Caleb's been kind of on that. Like, I saw him press tour, and he's like, he hit me in the shoulder, and I went down. And I'm like, bro, that's even kind of worse. Like, bro, that dude's that strong. He's hitting you in your shoulder, and you're going down.
Yeah. No, it's that's one thing. I wish Caleb gave me a little more credit. Like, like I'm just like another Mike Lee or Fenyabutz, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to play it up like, it was just nothing, and he's gonna keep moving up. But I know I think I'm the people's champ, and the people know what I did. So is what it is.
No, 100%, and that's kind of where I said earlier, where like he just says, "Oh, I made the adjustment," but it's like, oh, there was a whole lot leading up to that, and I mean, I get it on his end. He's kind of got to hold his, whatever. But man, a hell of a fight, man. That's, for me to you, a hell of a fight, bro. That was the most exciting fight. I think I told these guys while it was happening, man, this is the most fun I've had watching boxing. Like, since I could remember. Like, that was a hell of a fight.
It was definitely.
Heck yeah, man. That's what I'm in the sport for. I want to give the people what they want. Like, let's get some fireworks. Let's get some real fights going.
I've been wanting to chat with you since the fight too, since I've got to know you more too. just on a personal level. And during the press conference and all the buildup and stuff, as I was watching it all, it was all live on their YouTube channel. At every press conference, I was like wondering what kind of stuff is going down this time. Like, the stuff that Caleb was pulling out, all the trash talk and everything. What was going through your head during that? Because that was like your first major press tour and everything like that. So I was curious, what was Trevor going to do next?
No, man, it was super cool. Like, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was great experience overall, obviously in the ring, but also media wise. It gave me a lot of experience, and yeah, just the trash talk. Like, I'd never really gone through that much trash talk before, and um, he he definitely is a trash talker. Like, I don't know. So it definitely amped up the fight, and it made it awesome. And it made me want to punch him even harder. So yeah, it was cool.
And then what was the after the fight? The immediate link up. What was it that he was telling you?
He told me I was a great fighter, and we can. He said let's work together after this. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see, but yeah, it was all mutual respect. At the end of the day, like, we're getting in the ring to fight each other, like kill each other. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be nice words. It's not going to be, hey bro, you're my friend. Like, no dude, like, I'm coming in there to kill you. So yeah.
Well, I mean, 168, that's, I mean, partly maybe a lot because of Canelo. That's like one of the biggest, funnest divisions, in boxing right now. And like, just adding you and what you bring to that division as a fighter, it's like, man, I'm excited for these fights to start popping off. Man. I hope you get what you want, what you deserve, for sure.
Yeah, I saw a lot of these guys talking about a tournament. I'm like, let's go. Let's get this tournament going. Yeah, you got Berlanga. I respect Berlanga. I really like his coach, Mark. He's a great guy. He's a fellow believer, so he's a great man. That'd be a great fight. I mean, whether we respect each other or not, it'd be fireworks. Come on. The fans win. The fans win that fight. Yeah, and then you got Munguia and Pacheco and Billy. I mean, it's a fire division right now, so I'm really happy to be in the mix.
How about like contractually? Are you signed to a promoter, or are you free to go to any of these guys? Because you got like Beck the Bully with Golden Boy, and what is your situation?
Right now, I'm signed with ProBox, so just want to thank Gary Jonas for all the opportunities. But yeah, it's we can go anywhere. That's what's great. I tell a lot of guys, when you first sign with ProBox, it's you got to fight. You got to fight. So that's what I did when I fought Chris Pearson. It was not initially, it's not the money that you want, but you get that recognition, and Gary's gonna take care of you, and move you on to bigger and better things. So that is really what's great, is I can fight anywhere.
That's good. Yeah, it's especially in that division right now where it is kind of split between the two major companies, so you're kind of free to float around, which is a good advantage right there, big time.
For sure. Yep.
You feel like this fight was your Rocky moment?
Yeah, I was pretty bummed out that I didn't win that belt, man. I felt like I was fighting the ref and probably the judges as well, but at the end of the day, it's a learning experience, and you keep moving forward. But yeah, this was a great fight. I needed this fight to just show people what I can do, and I'm really grateful that I was given that opportunity.
I guess now that you mentioned the ref, how do you keep your cool when you knock someone down and they count it like no knockdown, and you see that he's still hurt? Like, is there some like, hey, just look at him? Like, how do you keep your cool in that situation?
I mean, you saw what I did. All I could do is just kind of showboat. I gave him a little, oh my god, and then when I went back to the corner, I sat down on the stool. I looked at the ref. I go, yo, look at the replay. Look at the replay. And I guess they did, and they said no still after looking at the replay, and I was just kind of like, ah, I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
When it comes to obvious knockdowns, when it comes to obvious knockdowns, that was definitely one of them, bro. I would say you shouldn't feel any kind of way other than happy as hell because you gave the sport of boxing one of the best fights we've had up to this year so far, to be honest with you, bro. And as long as you keep doing that, like you're gonna have a million fans every time you show up because that's what, like you said, that's what people want. It's not so much, did you win or you lose? Did I come and was I entertained? And you definitely do that in spades, bro.
Man, much respect, bro. Hey, if besides Felix, I already got you, but both you guys, if shoot me a message on Instagram, I want to follow you guys. I appreciate the kind words for real.
Yeah. Hey, Trevor, as a maybe a more technical, I want to know how your coach is feeling. With you and Caleb, I felt because while I'm watching this right now, I'm entertained. I'm off the couch, and you guys are showboating, and you guys still look like you're in range. Both of you are showboating. Is your coach getting on you about that? Because I was like, "Yo, what's going on right
now?" No, my trainer, like, I don't know. He knew I was feeling good. I was feeling comfortable. Like usually when you're in the ring like that, like once you start doing the showboating, like it's that range is kind of there. You understand where the range is at, and that's kind of what was happening with me. I knew where the range was, so yeah. When I started like the, that and this and that, and then after I did that, he kind of threw a right hand, and I was like, "Woo!" We kind of went past, and I was like, "Oh dang!" Like, thank goodness he didn't hit me with that one. But yeah, dude. Like at the end of the day, I was just having fun. Yeah.
I think
Trevor, on a lighter note, you're from Chicago, right?
Yes,
Chicago
sir. Yeah.
area.
Outside, Yorkville.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you sign one of my Chicago Bears hats, bro. I appreciate you.
Oh man, let's do it. Are you in Chicago?
No, he's out here too.
No, I'm in Arizona. I'm in Arizona, but no, I'm from the area also. So
okay, I was gonna say I'm heading out to Chicago on the 15th, so I was gonna go see you, but yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, shoot me a message, and I'd love to link up, maybe grab some lunch, and yeah, I'll go ahead and sign your hat.
Hey man, I appreciate you.
There you go. I think I'm loving what I'm seeing too because it's like you were kind of like hidden in the shadows, and now you're up there with like the top middleweights. Your name is buzzing and everything. So it's cool to see the social media call outs from other people. Like I'm a fan of Trevor McCumby. Where do you come from? All of this stuff. All of that has to feel great, even after a loss. It's kind of bittersweet. How have you been balancing that? Like, has that helped help you get over the loss? Like, not necessarily a loss in my career. I still kind of advanced in that aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it was a great opportunity, and I think just with all the controversy, I only got counted one knockdown, which was, the shoulder, and then the other two. So I felt like I knocked him down 3 times. But hey, at the end of the day, he won. It is what it is. No excuses, and we keep moving forward. But yeah, it's hard, bro. Like, like I like I said, building up to the fight, my dad always told me you lose or you die. And that's the mindset, and I was at an amateur fight this last weekend, and this this kid came up to me and wanted a picture, this and that, and he had lost his fight, and I said, hey man, you keep moving forward, you stand up and you keep going, and just make sure losing doesn't become a disease. You don't let it become a disease, and you keep that winner's mentality, and you keep moving forward. So
yeah, I like that. I like that. That's the thing I was going to get to is I love seeing that you're in the public eye, and I think people are going to see that you are an entertaining and funny character too, which is going to be good for your marketing. I would assume.
Yeah, man, I like to have a lot of fun, and yeah, it's
Hey, Trevor,
a lot of fun.
we've kind
Entertainment
of
business.
we've kind of followed your journey, like from the beginning, you top rank, top prospect, and then you went away, and then you really built yourself up like ground level to get to where you are right now. We appreciate that, and I think that's a good example for everybody. But are you happy with the journey that you've taken right now?
Oh man, beyond, I'm beyond blessed, bro. Like Jesus Christ is everything. He's the King of all kings, the Lord of lords, and like I couldn't have done this without him. To be honest with you, like it's crazy. So yeah, to see the just to see the transformation in myself, and everybody around me notices it, and yeah, if you you stay faithful in the Lord and you keep moving forward, and God God favors his faithful servants, and I believe that's the case with me. So yeah, it's a pretty remarkable story in my opinion, but I've been through a lot, and I'm just really really happy to be here at 32 years old now.
It's crazy because that's still young, man. Especially
Right.
now that what we see guys are doing. So yeah, man, I can't wait for the next steps of your career. And there's been talks of tournaments and all that. Like, let's get these fights going.
Let's go.
How soon would you like to turn it back around? By the way, like, are you looking to get right back in the ring right away, or are you trying to take some time off, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a little time. I mean, it's already been 2 weeks, so yeah, I don't know. We were talking about December. I'm thinking December maybe, but my wife is actually due November 27th ish.
Congratulations.
So thank you
Congratulations.
guys. Thank you. So yeah, I don't know. Like that'll be kind of weird training camp wise, but if we're offered the right fight, and um they want to do it, let's do it. I'm ready to fight whenever. I'm ready for December, but um I would think realistically January or February.
Nice, quick turnaround. We'll see you in there again pretty soon.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, any other last comments we have, or that you have for anybody watching or tuning in tonight, Trev?
No, that's really it. Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of heard it all. Really happy to be in the mix, and I'm happy to put on great fights for y'all.
Yeah, I'm excited that the world is finally getting to see you, and you're in the mix with everybody now. Hopefully, the fight that I want is the Edgar Berlanga. I would like to see you get that one there for sure.
I think that's one of the most doable ones, because we're both we both have ties with Pro Box, so I think it's a pretty doable fight, and we both come in looking to knock people out. So I think it would be fireworks.
I'm betting the house on you, brother.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
For sure, man. Yeah, from me, just hey, like I said, that was one of the funnest fights in a while. Like everywhere where I was, everyone was just. It kind of made the other fights not as good, because they had to live up to that, which they couldn't do. And I mean, for me, that's fight of the year so far. I just want to thank you, bro, and yeah, for that performance, for that fight, and yeah, man, we're gonna be around for the next one for sure.
Hey, much love to you all. I appreciate it, man. I really do. That's really what keeps me going, is just to hear that, and hear that people love the fights that they see. I feel like nowadays people aren't getting their money's worth, so I'm gonna keep giving you your money's worth.
Appreciate that. Definitely, all the fans do, without a doubt. And I'm sure we'll be. We still got unfinished projects we got to work together on. So we'll be linking up pretty soon.
Oh, you already know. I got you, bro. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, appreciate your time again, Trevor. And again, you're welcome anytime on the shop, man. We love having you on.
All right, man. Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, good talking to you guys. Later.
That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Trevor McCumby. Chill dude, as always. Humble, chill, easy to talk to, easiest person to interview for stuff like this, especially when you get to know him. But what fight do you guys want next for him? Like I said, I want the Edgar Berlanga, but there's a lot of names in the mix, and with that style, they could all be entertaining. Shea Mosley Jr. would be a fun, entertaining fight too.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it then, but like I go with Beck the Bully. I just feel like we got to get him out of there. I feel like he's almost that. I feel like that could be a real showcase for Trevor. But all those fights are going to be good, man. And I think Canelo has really made this division. Even by handing out a couple L's. But like we said, we aren't really harping on those L's. If you put up a good performance, like let's see it again. And we have names in that division. We have punchers in that division. We have boxers. I want to see him. I'd go. I mean, if we're talking for a big fight for Trevor, him and Berlanga for sure.
Yeah.
Money wise, I think Berlanga would be because they both coming off a loss to the same card, right? To top tier caliber guys, right? It would make sense. I would stylistically, I'd like to see him and Mbili fight. Just because I don't think it makes it past 3 rounds. Somebody's going to sleep. You know what I mean? Like the way they wing punches. But I mean, I agree with you guys. Berlanga makes the most sense financially.
And it's an exciting fight too. I think Berlanga showed us that he can hang at the top. If nothing else, survive. Against Canelo, and he landed some shots on Canelo. So he held his own for what we expected. I think Edgar did better than we gave him credit for what he was going to do.
Yeah, because he survived, right? But I think he lost 12 out of 12 rounds. But I'm with you. Like I kind of credit that to Canelo's greatness. But if he's to fight McCumby, bro, Berlanga, you better bring that same A game.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he can skate by not bringing. I really think Berlanga trained the hardest, and he was probably in the best shape, best fight. The best version of himself for that Canelo fight. He'd have to bring that probably plus some against a Trevor McCumby, and it's just going to be fireworks. And man, we don't care about the losses, man. We want to see good fights. And I said it a few minutes ago, but to me, that's been the fight of the year so far, man. Maybe it was the card, maybe it was just the atmosphere, but I haven't been like the oohs and ahs and jumping out of the seats for a fight like that in a while. And so that was really cool to me.
And I'm with it. I can't even, off the top of my head, think of another fight this year that's really stood out as a fight of the year contender. But I don't even know about knockout of the year contender currently. I know there has been some decent ones, but that's up there for fight of the year candidate without a doubt. I'm sure a deep dive will tell us that that's probably in the race, if not the clear-cut winner for sure for fight of the year.
We're in basically October already, so
yeah. I mean, hey, in some parts of the country, it is October 1st already. I don't know who else we have for the rest of the year. I don't know what we have to expect fight wise for anybody that would stake that claim for fight of the year.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think off top.
Fury and Usyk put on some sort of show stiller in December, which could happen.
Oh yeah, it's possible still.
It was Raymond Ford. I forget what the other kid's name was. That's what I was trying to remember. The fight where Raymond Ford won the strap, that was life or death type shit. That was a good one.
Shock was in a decent fight. If I'm not mistaken, or was that in the last year? There's been some okay ones. I'd have to look again.
I don't know, man. Regardless, let's get Caleb Plant back in the ring. Let's get Trevor McCumby back in the ring.
Yeah,
is Jamal Charlo still fighting? Like, actually, that'd be a good fight for either of them.
Right.
It's just, I think we always say like some fighters don't get it. I feel like Trevor gets it, man. Like he said, I just want to entertain. And that's what we want to see. Like, I don't care what your record is, and we've always said on here, all losses aren't equal, like for sure. Like the way he fought, and it kind of like just ran out of gas, but he was winning that fight, right? That's who I want to see again. I don't care if you bring me some guy who's undefeated, man, who cares? Can they perform and put on a show the way that Trevor McCumby did, the way that Caleb Plant did?
Right.
And even, in the main event, even Berlanga, he was kind of on survival mode, but I felt like I saw the performance, what he wanted to do. Like, man, bring those guys back, That's how
it makes it, everything entertaining for sure.
It's like a bigger version of, Gotti Ward, right? Like you give me that kind of, like a guy who's not afraid to lose. He's coming in there to win, but he's not afraid of taking the L. He just wants to get in there and, give us an exciting fight, bro. Like I kind of feel like we get away from that because now guys are so afraid of losing, you know what I mean? Or looking bad, right? Like they're so afraid of getting knocked out. So they if they feel like they're losing, they kind of go into cruise control so they don't look bad in the loss. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't give you that. He's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go out there and if I lose, I lose, but I'm gonna go out my way. And that shit is so fucking refreshing in boxing nowadays because it's just rare, bro.
Yeah, you don't see that at all. There's so many guys are protecting everything, so it's rare to see that without a doubt. Just what you were saying a few minutes ago, Ray, I wanted to point it out because like one of the guys that like Ricardo Mayorga, how many times that dude lose? But every time you saw that he was going to fight, you wanted to watch it. And that's because he was bringing that entertainment. So you already know what to expect every single time.
It's like you have like two sets of fighters, right? You have fighters that their whole marketing is I'm undefeated. So they're going to do whatever to hold on to this And then you have fighters that you just want to see them fight, right? And these are the guys that last longer because, when these undefeated fighters, they lose, and we know that they've just been doing whatever to hold on to their man, I don't want to see them anymore. And, that they always say that that's the problem with boxing. Like, once they lose, we write them off. We don't write everybody off. We write, like, we're not dumb. We could see that guy was just doing everything he could to hold on to that that's fighting bums. That's fighting guys he shouldn't lose to. So, when he loses, man, we don't need to see that anymore. We're like boxing fans.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a lot of things, but we're not dumb all the time, right? Now, if we have a guy that's there to like give his all, whatever, we don't care about that record. Yeah, he might have been undefeated at one time. He lost his all. But he's there to perform. He's there to put on good fights. So I feel like there's two separate kind of fighters. And it's like, it's these guys I want to see. You have this side, like Devin Haney, that O means everything to them. Because it's not like I really want to see Devin Haney fight. It's, he's undefeated. He must be good. Let me tune in. And that's why they did everything they could to get that O back on his record.
Yeah,
that's why they're suing Ryan Garcia because that's all they have going for them. Where you have guys like a Mayorga, right? You have guys, Pacquiao. A lot of these guys, they've lost.
I mean, Caleb Plant.
That's who we want to see.
The guy Trevor fought, Caleb Plant. He's got 2 losses. People still going to tune in to watch him.
Yeah, 100%. Like, look at Caleb Plant. I think he's probably got the reputation on. Man, he's not ducking smoke from anybody.
Yeah.
He's fought Canelo. He's fought Benavidez. What else do you want from him? He fought a hard hitter, undefeated guy in McCumby. It's like, he lost. I don't care. Like he wants that fight. And then you have guys like And I mean, we don't know how it's going to turn out, but I feel like Shakur Stevenson, it's just like, oh, we want to see him fight because he's undefeated, not because he's entertaining or he's going to do something I've never seen, but well, we're supposed to want to see him fight because he's undefeated. And I mean, I just don't like that route.
It's kind of like we were just talking about it, not too long ago with Anthony Joshua losing, right? People are still going to want to tune in to watch Anthony Joshua fight, right? Because he's not ducking anybody. He's fighting all the guys, right? And he's not doing the whole boo-hoo, woe is me thing to Ray's point, right? He takes his loss like a man. He's like, yeah, I fucking lost. So what? I'm going to be right back in the gym, and I'm going to, get in there and bust somebody else's ass next time I'm out, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want out of these guys. You don't want them crying about losses. Like you said with Devin Haney. Oh, my God, woe is me. He was on this. They should, I'm suing him for that. His mama did this to me in 98. I mean, come on, bro. Shut the fuck up. Get in there. Fight. You fight. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's too much of that nowadays, though, right? And not enough of, hey, I fought. It ended how it ended. But guess what? I want to fight again. I want to get my get back, whether it's a loss or even a win. You got guys who win and are mad because they might have got knocked down or they didn't look as good. And they're like, fuck it, let's run it back. Because that's what you want to see. You don't want to see these dudes that are like, man, I'm not fighting any of those guys unless I have to. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're getting too much of.
Yeah. I mean, to the credit of most guys we bring on here too, I feel like we're getting away from that. I feel like I feel like that was kind of that. Obviously, that's that Floyd Mayweather blueprint, right? And the fighters immediately following him, I think they followed that, and I feel like we didn't get a lot of great fights because of that. But I feel like we're maybe an era past that. I mean, I don't know what we consider an era, but generally, whatever. We're like in the next group past those guys, and
we're in a dog era right now because a lot of divisions it's filled with a bunch of there's nobody. We don't have a Roy Jones, we don't have a Floyd Mayweather right now. We have a bunch of dogs that are trying to get to the top, and those are usually those best eras in between the superstar era, in between the Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather era was great, especially with the heavyweight era, division. So just in between each superstar era, there's always an era of when it's just like it's the dog era. That's what it is. And right now,
right now it's kind of like guys fighting to be that superstar.
Yeah,
like,
and it's all
we have Canelo. I feel like
junior middle.
Yeah, I feel like we have Canelo. We have Tank. Tank's kind of the one where, come on, bro, give me more, like.
And he could be that eventual
super
star.
Entertaining. I watch all his fights. Yeah. Super entertaining. I watch all his fights, but I feel like he's not giving us everything.
Go ahead, Nip. Sorry. I was just saying a lot of the reason he ain't in the ring is because he keeps fucking up outside of it. You know what I mean? But I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, but I feel like Tank would be the one superstar that's not giving us the fights we really want to see, and not really. You can't really blame him because his whole thing is I'm not going up. But it's like, come on, bro. Like I saw that they're talking about Lamont Roach. Bro, I don't like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 5'6" with heels on, bro. Like, I mean, he's tiny.
So was Manny, bro. So was Manny Pacquiao. He's fighting Antonio Margarito.
Yeah, that's true.
But Antonio Margarito is a bitch. But anyway, look,
come on, get out of here.
Hey, bro, anybody who has loaded hand wraps, you're a bitch. I don't care what you did in the ring before or after that. You loaded your hands, you're a bitch. Anyway, so what I was saying is, but no, I mean, to your point, bro, we got a whole bunch of fighters that want to fight at the end of the day. A lot more than we used to, but there's still so many of these pretty boys who want, who want that Floyd situation, right? They want to retire with their O's. They want to be perfect and intact. But they're not fighting the dudes to get the legacy part of it. They're just fighting the dudes to get the record part of it. And that sucks.
Yeah. And what's crazy to me, and maybe this is just the way they present themselves, but like I've never got the impression that Tank wants to duck smoke. And maybe I'm just giving too much credit to Tank, but I feel it's like the people making the calls for him. But like, come on, like if Tank went up to 140, I mean, which was mentioned, you know, I'm sure a lot of people are going to pick him over Ryo, who's a world champ, you know, and if he goes to 147, right, and he loses, bro, we're not going to care. Like, I don't feel like that's going to take away from him. It would almost be like Manny Pacquiao. Like Manny Pacquiao had losses, but we knew the power that Manny had, and we kept wanting to see it. So that's why it sucks, like for me or maybe as a fan, to have someone as talented, as powerful, as kind of you don't see. They're generational in Tank, but like refuse to really test himself, right? Even when he did it against Ryan Garcia, there was the rehydration.
Yeah.
You know, and then you'll fight some people at 140 like Barrios, but then you won't fight Ryo at 140, or you won't fight. And it's like, come on, if he went up and fought Teofimo and lost, bro, we're not gonna hold that against Tank. Like, bro, you're still Tank. So like for him, if this fight really happens with Lamont Roach, it's like, come on, man. I'm gonna watch. It's gonna be a spectacular knockout. I'm not. You would have never in my life have I said, oh, I really want to see Tank versus Lamont Roach.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's said that. And if it gets made, and I think it is, I think it's just one of those things where I think we called it earlier in one of the previous episodes, how Tank is kind of picking these early guys the way he did with Frank Martin and Ryan Garcia early in their career, just in hopes of, you know, this guy has a future. I'm going to get this win, and it's going to age well for me in due time. And I think that's kind of the avenue that they're leaning towards with Tank. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Lamont Roach as an opponent.
I mean, the Barrios win is aging very well for him. But
yeah,
I would say, doesn't Lamont Roach have a belt in the division, right? He's got a strap at 135 or 130.
I believe so. We'll have to do a fact check on that.
If Tank gets all the straps, I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? But my thing would be, to your guys' point, once you get the strap, like if you're getting another strap, I'm not mad at that. But once you get them, like we at least need a superstar or somebody in that, you know, that's going to be threatening to you at some point.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just see like Inoue, you know, he keeps going up and up and up, and eventually he's going to lose, right? You would think.
Yeah.
But he's at least going up. I just, you know, and the Barrios win for Tank is aging well for sure. But like even Barrios has said, like he said something like, I didn't say it at the time, but yeah, there was a rehydration clause. And it's like, I just don't get how you could fight some people at that weight, but not others, you know? So.
Right. I'm with you on that too. And it's Tank's record is already having all those asterisks on there, and that's to me, once you start having asterisks on your record, who cares about the undefeated? You know, the losing side of it. If you have asterisks over your wins, that's never a good thing. And he's starting to rack those up a little bit.
He's one of the most entertaining fighters in the sport. So like, bro, why not? Like, we don't watch you because you're undefeated. We watch you because you put guys to sleep. Right. You know, the Floyd Mayweather kind of, Floyd at some point stopped knocking guys out. And it was more about like, oh, can anybody beat him? Can anybody beat him? I don't think Tank's at that. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, can anybody beat Tank? It's just like, I want to see Tank knock some people out. Like, let's go up. Who else can he knock out?
Right.
So I don't know who's his team or what, but man, speaking for me, like that's not what I want to see, bro. I want to see Tank fight the best people out there, names we know, and see if he can knock them out. I don't want to see him fight Lamont Roach.
I mean, Shakur turned down the money. He wanted a 50-50. And that's ridiculous. You mean, like if you fight in Tank, you got to understand you're not getting 50-50, bro. but Shakur refused to budge on that. I don't know if they come at him again, if he, rethinks that move. But at this point, but yeah, I mean, it's not like he's not trying. I don't think. I just think people who are the other people who are trying to protect their O's really don't want smoke with Tank, bro.
It's a risk. I mean, why would you? I mean, Devin Haney's not going to ever fight Tank. I know that. I think Shakur would fight Tank. But yeah, I mean, that's the sad part is, when we get lower down, the protecting a record was at one point starting even, at a lower scale, which again, we're getting out of, but there's still some stragglers, the Shakurs and the Haneys, where their persona relies on having an undefeated record. That's their marketability. So when that O is gone, they lose a part of themselves too.
100%. I mean, that's what kind of the excuse we give, or Shakur probably gives himself. Well, I won. It's
yeah.
Like, who cares?
I got to ask you guys this. Considering where Devin Haney is now, how does he come back from that? In your opinion?
Yeah, he's not. He's gonna get ridiculed by a lot of fans for a lot of things, and I think Ryan Garcia took his soul in that ring that night, sadly, because that's a horrible way to shave years off of your career in that sense. But I think, I don't think he's gonna be the same fighter, and I think mentally that going away, knowing that somebody beat him, because I saw an interview of him saying he knew something was up because nobody's ever dominated him in the ring like that. And he knew something was up, but he just let it go because whatever. Then he found out about the drug test. Devin Haney, anybody could get beat like that in the ring. Like you're not a superhero. So for him to hear him say that, his ego was that high that he knew something was up because nobody could dominate him that easily. His whole aura, there's a piece of him that died in that ring that night, and that's not going to be the same. We're not going to have that same Devin Haney anymore, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was the same interview, but I saw when Andre Ward was like, "Oh, what could you have done to beat him or whatever?" And he's like, "Oh, it's hard to beat someone when they're doping. Like he wouldn't have done anything different." I'm like, "Bro, you wouldn't have maybe held your hand up like like when he jabs like that, like." No, you wouldn't have done that. Like, bro, that wasn't the doping. That's just you not having the best chin.
Yeah.
And nobody respecting your punch.
Right.
Like, those are things you could fix. And I don't know. For Nibs' question, like, bro, I don't care to see Devin Haney ever fight again. And then especially suing. And it was like what he was suing for, like battery. And like in there it said like he didn't consent to get hit by somebody who was. It's like what? So
bro, yeah.
So for Devin Haney, like you can't punch and you can't really take a punch. That has nothing to do with whatever. Like Ryan was on Osterine and they said it was barely noticeable, traceable, whatever. Like, bro, he beat you because he throws a good left hook and you don't block a left hook. So, like, let's not forget, like, Devin Haney had been hurt before. It wasn't like Devin Haney had this amazing Canelo Triple G-like chin and then now he was getting hurt. Nah, bro, we seen you hurt by Linares. We seen Lomachenko hitting you and you got hit by a quick left hand or someone with power, and that's going to happen again.
Yeah,
like it's going to. Like
the
Devin Haney,
he knew it was coming and still could. Like what punch he's going to throw, and you still can't get out the way.
Yeah, it's like honestly, the only fight that I'd maybe watch Devin Haney in, or I guess a couple would be, I'd watch him fight Tank, and I'd watch him fight Teofimo Lopez, and I think that fight, both those fights in the same. Like Devin Haney's gonna be on all fours again, crawling around. Like it just is what it is. And man, just doing that as a boxer, suing for battery, that's wild.
It is.
Like, come on.
Because I mean, really, do any of them ever consent to getting punched? Like, come on. It's ridiculous.
Like who is advising this guy?
Seriously. I mean, what happened back in my day? Fighters used to thank Al Heyman, and he would do them right. Where's Al Heyman when we need him? Devin Haney.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
Al Heyman.
Because I don't think he's gonna get money from this lawsuit. It's just embarrassing that it actually comes out what you're suing for. You're suing for what?
Right.
Like even Ryan Garcia said, like, come on, Bill, why are you suing me? I told you to stop the fight. Like,
yeah.
he has that video, like he was telling them to stop it.
Yeah.
And I don't know where Devin Haney goes from here. Like, I don't think he's a big enough star that he could fight an easy win and have people watch, or I don't think they'd be able to sell that fight to anyone. So I don't know what he does, man. And I'm not, like I said, unless it's Tank, maybe Teofimo or Ryan again, I don't really care.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, would you watch a rematch between him and Ryan, or do you feel like that has to be what's next? Like,
I would watch it because it's gonna be the same result. Like Devin Haney, he doesn't block a left hook, and nobody respects his punch, so it's gonna happen again.
Yeah, the rematch, if they do a rematch, it's going to end viciously. I think Ryan's going to get the knockout, and he's going to test clean. And what is Haney going to do then? I think that would be all bad for him to take a rematch, because I think that's what would happen. And you want to talk about hurting an ego, well, that would be a definitely hurt one right there for sure.
Yeah, I think, I mean, just because he still has a strap, apparently, because he didn't lose. I think I don't know, man. I think it's all bad for the sport, bro, for him to even be in a conversation at this point. Like, I hope, I'm not even going to say that. I'll never hope that on anybody, but I hope in his next fight, we get some resolution to him not being in one of these bigger fights, because it's like,
yeah,
it's everything boxing isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've all seen dudes get their ass thoroughly whooped. We've never seen one of them sue the other guy for doing it. You know what I mean?
Miguel Cotto, right? Like, that was the whole hand wraps thing.
Right.
You want to sue, like, okay, let's sue for that, like that, whatever, right?
Yeah, a legitimate complaint, like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that Margarito thing is not as surface level as that, but on the surface, Margarito had hand wraps, whatever. He beat Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto didn't want to sue him, right? Like, Miguel Cotto said he wasn't going to fight him, so like 2 fights went by, and then Miguel Cotto got that get back.
Yep.
He wasn't like, oh, I'm going to sue this guy for bad. Like, come on. We wouldn't look at Miguel Cotto the same if he said that.
Right.
So for Devin Haney, like I said, man, I don't know who's advising him. Probably nobody, right? Like, he's fighting carnival guys, trying to missing punches against them. Like, I don't know, man. I just think maybe the sport's not for him.
Oh, that carnival clip, bro. And then the fact that he walked away so casually after throwing a right hand. Did you see that clip, Nibs? Oh, that was embarrassing. Between Devin Haney punching a random carnival dude and then walking away after not dropping the dude, and walking away like completely like nothing happened. There's also a video of Shakur Stevenson hitting somebody on camera. It's not a man.
A girl.
Yeah, it's a girl. I don't want to say it, but yeah. And he didn't. I mean,
he didn't knock her out either. Like,
he didn't knock her out either. These are dudes in the street fighting, and it doesn't look good when they're doing.
I mean, to Shakur's credit, he's young, and that was many years ago, I guess. But yeah, man, I don't know.
It just
Chris Rock didn't even sue Will Smith. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Devin Haney? Like, that's the
Devin Haney's having an all-time bad year, I think. Then you throw in the Diddy things going down.
God, I know.
You got the Diddy situation, and they got you shirt off, picked up with Diddy. Like, that dude's having an all-time bad year. So,
combat sports.
That's facts. That's video proof of that.
Yeah, and Shakur.
That's
I guess.
online?
Yeah, look it up. Look it up. The power's not there for Shakur, sadly, either. But not that we would have wanted it there.
It's just you would think, right? Like,
yeah.
If it was like at a gas station, it was kind of I don't know. I don't know if they were jumping somebody or what, but.
Right. Yeah, seriously. And then with the Devin Haney one, that carnival one, I swear, bro, that was like the most funniest thing that I've seen, because dude was already getting jumped, and Devin Haney decides to want to get in the mix. Maybe he wanted to get some street cred. I think that's what it is, honestly. I think he wanted his own sort of get back and get some street cred. But he landed a sucker punch in there against Carnival dude, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. And then he walked away because the cops were coming. So him and his people just walked away. That was the funniest video I've seen on the internet over the past few weeks.
I'm watching this right now. Hold on.
We've talked about like fighters and their social media and stuff. You know, it's funny. A lot of them carry themselves well on social media, but it's not just what you do on your own, but what you do in public in general. And you get idiots like that. They're gonna get filmed. You got to know that you're gonna get filmed. You're on TV. Whether you're just walking, people are gonna want to film you and record you for whatever reason.
Well, it's like, I think the guys that are successful in boxing, that kind of transcend, are the guys that are themselves.
Yeah.
Trevor was saying like, yo, this is really me. We like Caleb Plant because, Caleb Plant kind of seems to always want smoke, right? Like if he feels he's disrespected outside of the
right.
ring, we see him getting into it with people. I always feel like, Canelo is who in the ring, who he is outside of the ring. Like he kind of there's nothing that I could be like, yo, what? And then you get the situations like Devin Haney or Shakur, and it's like, man, what? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
So I think those guys that are really successful are the guys that they're not trying to live up to an image. That's just who they are day in and day out.
Bro, I just saw what y'all were talking about. Good Lord, bro.
Yeah. Wild, right? Wild.
And that wasn't like a little light punch. Like he wound that shit up. And all she did was take a step forward, bro.
That's horrible. But we used to have a segment. We might have to bring it back with the guests. Your favorite street fight story. We might have to start bringing that back. I'm pretty sure Trevor probably had a decent one too. We might have to start bringing that back with some of our guests. I'm pretty sure they're all going to be better than the carnival story for Devin Haney. I wonder if he actually has any street fight stories at all either. I would guess not.
I mean, not that you praise that, but
in our sport though, it's kind of the thing. A lot of fighters,
you would think it would happen.
It's like a part of that's a part of their personality. You know what I mean?
If Ricardo Mayorga can give us machete fights, we would expect someone to have a street fight, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they had smartphones back when Mike Tyson was the shit? Like when Mike Tyson was coming up. Like, could you imagine? Because I'm not even talking about when he was famous. Like all the street fighting he did before he even got to cuss. Like, could you imagine if they had smartphones back then? Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just Mike Tyson. A couple like the most random stories that I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Which I don't know if y'all heard, but You God of the Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah. He says that when he was like a little kid, I think like 10 or 8, I don't know what he said. He said, he thinks Mike Tyson robbed his mom, like took her earrings. And then when he saw Mike Tyson like coming up at 18 years old, he's like, yo, like he remembered like, yo, that's the guy that robbed my mom.
Damn.
Wow. That's a crazy story. So like, no phones around for that. Then there's always the Mike Tyson, what's his name? Mitch Bloodgreen. Was that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was watching the Cameron was talking. He was like, yeah, I remember Mitch Green coming back to the hood all beat up from that Mike Tyson fight. And it's like, imagine if cell phones were around, bro. Like, yo, you just got, bro. Who beat you up? And, that's Mike Tyson. So, but it's almost I like the stories better
Yeah, it kind of is.
Dad's name? What's Zeb Judah's dad's name? I forget what his dad's
Yoel.
name.
Yoel.
Yoel, I guess because they grew up in the same neighborhood, he was certifying a lot of the shit Mike Tyson was saying. He was like, yo, we used to see Mike out there 10, 12, 15 years old knocking out grown-ass men like for they just for fun. And I was like, God damn, bro. Like, could you imagine I'm gonna just go out here and fight grown-ass men. I'm a grown-ass man and I don't want to be out here fighting grown-ass men.
Fighting 13-year-old Mike Tyson, like, nah, bro.
Yeah. How do you live that down? Like, you got to go back, especially in the neighborhood. You got to go back to the neighborhood. Like, I got dusted by a 13-year-old. Like,
that's one of them losses that ages well for you. Like, you tell your grandkids, I got my ass kicked when I was younger by Mike Tyson. Like, it's different. Like, you don't want to get your ass kicked by Joe from Safeway, but if Mike Tyson kicks your ass, that's a cool fucking story right there. Yeah,
man, and that's one of the greatest records ever. The becoming a heavyweight champ at 20. Like, that's one as it goes on. Like, even I see these, I'm like, bro, that's never gonna happen again. A heavyweight champ at 20, like,
and the way he did it,
insane.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he was changing people's lives with them knockouts, bro.
He was Trevor Burbick falling down 3 times from one punch. Like,
oh yeah, yep. That power is nuts. Hey, did you guys? I gotta figure out the dude's name. That one kid, he's like 41-0. I might have sent it to y'all in our group discussion chat, whatever. He's like 41-0. He's trying to take the next step in his career. He's like 41-0 with like 35 knockouts. Trying to take the next step in his career, and then like you look at his record, and he's like, nobody wants to fight me, this and that. You look at his record, and like everybody he's fought on there has a losing record, like tomato can after tomato can. I'm gonna have to look it up, but it's been making its way around the internet. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Did you see any of that?
No, I'm gonna have to check that out though. What's his name? You don't know his name?
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna find it because that was his record is a joke. I'll find it for you. Give me a couple minutes. I remember exactly who sent me that video in the first place.
Yo, but like shout out to his matchmaker, right? Like, hey bro, we got someone else you could beat. We got someone else you could beat. Like, to get 40 guys that you could beat, like, bro, that's kind of tough, I would think. Like,
yeah, it has to be. Yeah, because that's a big ass record.
You gotta pay for those fights too, right? Like, I mean, that person's got to get paid unless. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
look at what's the kid that just got knocked out by a jobber, right? The Alan Garcia, he just got knocked out by a dude who was supposed to be the jobber. A lot of those jobbers, bro, know how to get through fights because their whole point is, I can't get knocked out, so I need to be able to fight, in 2 weeks, a month, or whatever. So a lot of those dudes know how to get through fights. You might fuck around and find one that's actually got a little power on him, like an Emmanuel Augustus kind of guy. Fuck around and lose. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you still got to get through the problems. Yeah, you still got to get through them.
You might reach out to someone and they just happen to be in shape. Like, like, oh, shoot. Because, a lot of those guys that, they're opponents, right? And they get them on short notice. They give them like 2 weeks, a week notice, and, hey, come in. But you mess around and get one of those guys that are in shape, the fight might look different.
That's how Joe Smith got on.
No, but can we take a timeout real quick?
Yeah, I mean, we've never taken a timeout.
Michelle, this R-Truth guy is not that funny. Come on, man.
I'm not even going to talk about. Yeah, is not at all. So we don't even have to talk about it.
I'm all about roasting that, but. R-Truth, give me something, my guy.
Yeah, it's definitely it's nothing there. But I found dude's box rec, and I sent it to you guys there. He's 41-0, 30 knockouts. Abel Mendoza, he is 28 years old, and I'm just gonna look at his last 4 opponents. Let's see, 65-69 was the guy's record. 11-1, that was a decent record that he got. 34-24, not a decent record. 5-2. I mean, a lot of these opponents he has.
Felix, you talk about a lot of projects you got going on. We really honestly, we should get a project going on to see what can we get Jack Kelly's record to. Let's take it, right? Like that's a story right there. Like, young kid, journalist turned boxer. He's amateur right now. But like, what could we legitimately get his record to in the pros? I don't know, man. I want to know.
Let's do it, yeah.
Right? And like, what barriers do we run into? Do we got to pay for opponents? Do we got to what can we get his record to?
That's a good question, actually. Let me see. Oh, this Abel Mendoza's a lightweight. Too small for Jack, but that would have been a nice showdown right there.
But I mean, we could just go down. We could just go down his record, find a lot of those upside down records, and come on, Jack. Come on. I mean, that'd be a cool documentary, right? Like, if we get Jack to 10-0, 15-0, could we do it? I don't know.
We probably could.
Easy work.
Yeah,
we can get Jack to 20-0 easy. You know what I mean? We go down to Mexico and get Jack 20-0 quick.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I think that's the series right there. We mess around and get Jack into a NABO title fight.
Oh, say less. That's it. It's a wrap.
Look.
Jack, if you're listening, just know we got plans for you. Now we're planning the next few years of your life here.
No, we're going old school.
If Jack gets one of those NABO or NABF titles, Felix is going to throw him the biggest retirement party ever. He's like, "That's it, shut it down."
Yeah. No, we gotta do old school. Jack's got to be fighting twice a month, once a month.
Oh yeah, every couple of weeks. Yeah, the way them old school fight, the way Tyson used to do it, man. Yeah. This is gonna be a quick turnaround, Jack. This is a really quick investment. We wanna return right away. We want results. Really, again, it was a slow weekend last weekend, slow weekend this weekend. We don't got much more to go on. What else do you guys have to throw out there before we call it a night? Nothing? No comments?
No, man. I just think it was really cool to have Trevor come on. Like I said, as I said earlier, full disclosure, obviously I'm rooting for him and I was happy for him to be in this situation. I thought Caleb was going to win the fight, and maybe that's just because I bet you. Man, we got to bet, right? Somebody's got to take some. But, even as I was rooting for Caleb, that show that Trevor put on, those first few rounds, I was not expecting, right? I didn't expect Caleb to be hurt like that. I've never seen his legs like that. I just think it's really cool we had Trevor on, and, hope the best for his career. Can't wait to see him. And I can't wait to see Caleb again either, man.
Yeah, and it's I meant it too, what I was saying. The last time me and Trevor linked up, we're just, we're in the gym chopping it up, and, hearing him talk about guys, the names that he was saying, David Morale, Edgar Berlanga, Caleb Plant, he wanted one of those names. He was itching. He was so hungry for one of those names that I knew whoever it was that he got in there with, that was going to be his moment, and I knew nothing was going to stop him. And he did what he needed to do. He didn't take home the W, but that was one of those losses where you still win, and he came out ahead. And I think there's a ripple in the ocean now for sure, and I think it's going to be nothing but good stuff from here for him for sure. I'm excited about it, man.
And I look forward to the projects that you spoke on with him. I think he is a player in the game, and I think he's also a personality, which matters almost just as much as if you could fight, and he just happens to be able to do both. Yeah,
and I've been since as you mentioned too earlier, he was with Top Rank. He went away. Since he's come back, I've documented every fight except this one down in Florida and the Caleb Plant one. I wasn't really with him in camp for, or around him at all. But I've been documenting footage from him. So we've been stockpiling footage. We just haven't finished working on that project. But the more we continue to film and get footage, at this point, it's almost going to be a movie, it feels like. But yeah, when we do drop something, it's going to be heat because all the content I've got with him for past couple of years now, for sure.
Yeah, bro. Losing to Caleb Plant, nobody's going to hold that against you, bro. One. And then losing to Caleb Plant the way you did, nobody's definitely not going to hold that against you, especially when some of us thought you were going to have him out of there, but you know what I mean? By the fucking fifth round, the way it was going. So, being as entertaining as he is, you know, and like you said, having the showmanship, bro, I think he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Like, whatever his next fight is, it's going to be big time. Like, people are going to show up.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is it.
Well,
or go ahead, Ray. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I don't mean to keep y'all, but
no.
What's the next fights we're looking forward to, man? Because we're in September.
Well, I was looking.
I was schedule.
So as of right now, we're kind of going to be on a hiatus. We won't be on a hiatus. We'll be back on the shop. You know, we'll figure out something to entertain you guys with for sure. But here's the schedule as it lines out for the week. As you know, it is October 1st now. Wherever you're listening, I'm pretty sure it's October 1st, unless you're on the West Coast here. This weekend, we have Janibek fighting, defending his title. I don't think there's going to be too many people excited about that. It's going to be on ESPN. Nick Ball, Ronnie Rios on Saturday for the WBA Featherweight Championship. Nothing really standout-ish on the undercard either. So really, we don't have anything until October 12th when we have Better Biev and Bivol going at it.
I forgot about that. But
yeah, so really, we're kind of on a slow burn until then.
Can we put those guys in a bubble room and make sure neither get hurt or pull out?
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah. And then even then, there's still going to be a break. It's going to be a slow October. We don't really have much. We do have Tim Tszyu fighting on Prime October 19th. I don't really see. Well, Nakatani also actually on ESPN on October 14th. So that weekend is going to be pretty decent. But there's not a whole lot. Although this is new to me, I didn't know this fight was happening. Jack Catterall and Regis Prograis, October 26th on DAZN, which decent little fight there actually. I think that's the kind of fight that Prograis needs. But Jack Catterall, he's not a pushover at all, so that should be fun.
There's a lot of fights in Japan this month. A lot of Japanese.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well too. Not a whole lot.
So we got those Tuesday night 4 a.m. fights.
Yeah, we're gonna see a couple of those. We got Inoue's brother fighting coming up as well too. So that's gonna be one of those early cards. November, kicks off a little bit. We have some more names and more shows, but it's kind of getting to that point of the year where things are starting to wind down a little bit. The next Mike Tyson's the last pay-per-view, I want to say, other than Tyson, Fury, and Usyk. Yeah. So, and hey, shout out, Abel Ramos. We got to spend time together in the gym the other day. It was great. Got our first session in for the episode of The Fight Life coming out, which, by the way, Top Rank, what are you guys doing? Top Rank is putting out an original documentary series, and they're naming it The Fight Life, which has been the flagship documentary series on this platform for the past, 6-7 years has been The Fight Life. The only thing that changes is the name of the fighter. The Fight Life, Elijah Garcia. The Fight Life, Shadeja Green. That's the name of the show. It's The Fight Life. And yeah, now they so, if you're listening, don't even support Top Rank's project. Or maybe you should. I don't know. But two of their episodes is going to be Sinise Estrada and Teofimo Lopez. Go to ITR Boxing's YouTube channel. Obviously, you're already here. So after we're done, there's already a Fight Life episode for Teofimo Lopez and Sinise Estrada because it's our series. Come on, Top Rank. Do better. But I'm not even going to make a fuss about it because hopefully that hashtag brings more followers. So thank you, Top Rank. Only good can come from this. And on that note, me and Abel Ramos, there was a crazy good gym session. 113 degrees out there that day. It was nuts. I posted a video. I don't know if you guys saw it. The amount of sweat that was just dripping. I'm holding the camera and I'm sweating because it's so hot in the damn gym. So I can't even imagine what they're going through training. But that's gonna be a good fight, man.
We'll see, man. I'm looking forward to that date, but I'm not trying to see Mike Tyson get knocked out by Jake Paul, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt, man. I'm not looking for it. So I don't want to see that happen. I really hope Jake Paul doesn't have anything to lose. I hope he just, like, the selfish person in me just wants him to just take a dive. I don't even care. just go, Jake. Come on, bro. Like, people will respect you if you did that too.
Yeah.
The most irrelevant fight in boxing.
I forgot. Here we go.
Hey, just real quick, it's completely off boxing, but RIP to Dikembe Mutombo and Pete Rose. They both passed away today.
Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, and it sucks when he's in the Hall of Fame that he's not gonna be there. You know, he's not gonna be there to accept that, because that was always one thing that he really wanted, was the Hall of Fame. It was always out of reach. You know, I can see the argument against, but yeah, man, one of the greatest ever.
Yeah, without a doubt, that's a legendary name. For me, I always remember Pete Rose getting chokeslammed by Kane, but that was my introduction to him, and I learned about him after the fact. So,
and then Dikembe, man, I'll take anything away from him, man. Like some of the stories that I read just today that he would do and did.
Yeah,
man. R.I.P.
R.I.P. indeed. Any other final comments?
John Ashton, the guy from Beverly Hills Cop, he passed away today too. We lost a lot of stars today, bro.
You decided to just bring us down at the end of the show. Like,
hey, man, I just paying my respects. That's it.
This is a boxing program. This isn't a news station. What are we doing here? Hey, seriously, rest in peace, to the people we lost there today. Especially because they are sports related as well.
Man, and it was a boxer, man. I saw it today. I wasn't familiar with him.
Well, who's that?
Man, let me look it up. It was I know Freddie Roach posted it. Let me see. I gotta say his name, right? Let's see. You guys can talk while I look this up.
No, we're just gonna let you look it up awkwardly, silently.
Deeply saddened by the news of, let's see.
Oh,
King Malik.
He can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
It's a tongue twister.
You're waiting on me?
Yeah, I mean, you were gonna give us a name.
Oh yeah, King Malik. I don't know, man.
Yeah, Malik Birdsong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. R.I.P.
Drive by shooting. LA.
Oh, really?
Oh. Kelly, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It being said the same thing. I think he got shot. It's wild, man. Gang culture is still heavy out there. Big time. That shit is.
There's still parts of LA, bro. You legit can't wear certain colors, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey, people think that shit is over because the 90s is over, but nah, bro, that shit is.
It's over in a lot of places, but it's still the culture that it's not going to change. It's heavy out there still.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So RA.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, next week we'll have another fun show. It may be the season premiere. Wow, Ray is going to end the night like that. All right. Well, on that note, and this is what you. So when you guys see the gentleman drinking on the show all night, that's now you know what's in their cup. This is water. I'm your innocent host for the night. And yeah, look at these two. Stay tuned next week. We're gonna have more drinks, of course, with these two alcoholics, and we might bring on another guest. Again, there's not going to be much this weekend, boxing wise, so we'll have something to entertain you. Maybe some details on a boxing tournament when the new game comes out in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, Undisputed.
Yeah,
what the 11th?
I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna see if we can get somebody involved in the Undisputed game to come on. We'll do that. We'll dedicate.
Yeah, tell them, man. We're gonna have a tournament for them.
Yeah,
yeah.
We'll do that because the game comes out on the 10th. So next week is going to be what's the calendar? What's the day next week, Nibs?
What's that?
Oh, October 7th. All right, perfect. Yeah, it's the same week. So yeah, I'll reach out. I'll get somebody from Undisputed to come on the show next week, and we'll talk.
Bring them on, man, to let them know we want to host a tournament.
I mean, I think it'd be good too to talk about the development of a video game, what goes into. I think a lot of people don't really know that the inner workings of that, and like, for example, when's the last time we had a boxing game? What is the reason for that? I think a lot of people want some answers to that, and why it's been an avoided genre. So we'll get somebody on here. We'll pick their brain, and I think some of you guys in the comments might enjoy that. Let us know in the comments if you do, and if you have any questions, make sure you drop them in there. I'll make sure that I do ask whoever we bring on there that comment, or if you tune in live, you can ask them too. And
that's fucking crazy. I just
while you're at it, give me a download code.
Go ahead. One at a time. Which one?
No, I was just saying that you made me think. I was like, damn, when was the last time we had a legit boxing game?
Yeah.
You know me, bro. I was just trying to get a download code.
Well, you're gonna get a beatdown code when you fight me in that game. We already know. We already know what happened last time when we fought. Just make sure your internet connection is solid this time.
Hey, I'm the cam man, bro. Anybody can get it.
All right, we'll be ready, man. We'll be ready. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in.
We'll have to get an ITR belt and put it up. Like whoever wins the tournament gets the ITR belt.
I'm gonna get an NABO belt, and I'm just gonna spray paint ITR over it the way Hulk Hogan did the NWO title. That's my. That's gonna be my.
Bro, I'm gonna beat you so bad, bro.
Bro, I will remember our fight night champion fights that we had. Bro, I was killing you every time we fought. I was killing you.
That's cat.
I know whoever wins is gonna be petty as fuck and have the strap on while the next time
Yo, that's crazy.
Why do we gotta have that for, Nibs? Why? It's just a video game. Why did you take it there? Is it because it's late?
Yo, Nibs, that's wild, bro.
Wow. Damn. How do y'all play video games in the Nibs household? Don't ever accept a Nibs game night invite, bro. You don't know. It's like one step below a Diddy party. You don't know what's gonna go down there.
I was talking about the strap, the belt. You know what? Come out of here.
I don't know if I like those hand movements while you're saying that, bro.
The guilty shall run. The guilty shall run. Well, that's it, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. And hey, we offer you free entertainment every Monday night for 90 minutes. So enjoy your night, and then we'll catch y'all next week.
Yes, sir.
Peace.